Hey everyone, this is Mr. K and welcome to part 9 of the Precalculus summer homework. This is adding and subtracting fractions. So the main thing here is, again, we're stating restrictions, and there's a reminder there that we need a common denominator in order to add or subtract these fractions. The easiest way to do that is you can just multiply the top and bottom by the opposite denominators. So for example, this fraction here, I'm going to multiply the top and bottom by 4, and then on the other side I'm going to multiply the top and bottom by 7. Now that's not always the most efficient method, but that will always work. And that actually happens to be the lowest common denominator for these fractions. So then I'll multiply those together and we'll have 21x over 28, and I'm going to add to that 8x over 28, and then now we can just add those fractions together. Remember, when you're adding fractions, just add the numerators together. So we're just combining like terms here, and so we end up with 29x over 28, and that is our answer, and there are no restrictions for this problem because we don't have any variables in the denominator. Looking at the next one, same logic applies. I'm going to think of this as like in parentheses, these denominators though. So the second fraction here I'm going to multiply by x plus 1. The first fraction I'm going to multiply by x plus 3. And I'm going to distribute. There really is nothing, you're just multiplying it by 1. So the first fraction I'm going to be left with x plus 3. And that's going to be over. You can just leave this. You don't actually need to multiply this out. So it'll be x plus 3 times x plus 1. We're going to be adding to that. Now here you're going to want to distribute that 6x to there, and we'll have 6x squared plus 6x, and that's going to be over x plus 3 times x plus 1. And now we can just combine like terms in the numerator. So I see 6x squared, there are no other x squareds. 6x plus 1x is 7x, and then we'll have that plus 3, and that's all over x plus 3, x plus 1, and so then we have our restrictions that x cannot equal -3 or -1. And then for just as far as multiplying this out, or seeing if you can factor and simplify, like that just depends on what you're doing for that situation. So right now I'm just leaving it there. If it did say to simplify, then just refer back to the previous video with simplifying fractions, which I believe was part 6, 7. Same thing for the next one, multiplying by the opposite denominator. So this will be times x. This will be times x minus 1. Distribute, so we'll have 3x minus 3. That's over x times x minus 1. And then we're going to subtract now 4x over x times x minus 1. And so when you go to combine like terms, you end up with -1x. And then minus 3. And that's over x times x plus 1. If you want, you can factor out the -1 out of the numerator, and so we could have -1 and then times x plus 3, and that's over, oh, I wrote a plus here, that should be a minus. X times x minus 1. And then for our restrictions, we would say x cannot equal 0 or 1. And that is your final answer. So again, factoring and multiplying, or FOIL, double distribute, whatever you want to call it, both really, really important skills, which is why we're really hitting it hard on the summer homework. Next problem. Same thing. Multiply by the opposite denominator. And so here you're going to have to, like, it's x minus 5 times x minus 5, so you're going to have to like FOIL double distribute like I talked about just recently. You should end up with x squared minus 10x plus 25, and that's going to be over x plus 5, x minus 5. Doesn't matter which order you write those in. And then we're adding to that. I'm going to distribute the 2x there, and we'll have 2x squared plus 10x. And again, that's all over x plus 5, x minus 5. And now it's just a matter of combining like terms. I see a 2x squared and an x squared, so that's going to be 3x squared. I have negative 10x plus 10x, so those are actually going to go away. And then we have the plus 25. And that's over x minus 5, x plus 5. And again, order in which you write that doesn't matter. Our restrictions would be x cannot equal plus or minus 5, and we're done. The last problem here, this looks a little funky, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the x's and say, okay, I need to multiply this by x squared to get it to match that. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to multiply top and bottom by x squared. And then to get to the y's to match up, this is a y squared, this is just a y to the 1. So I would need to multiply both of these by y in order to get those denominators to be the same. You could do like what I said before, like you could multiply this by x times y squared on both sides, or on top and bottom. Here you can multiply top and bottom by x cubed times y, but that's not like the lowest common denominator, so you're going to get some junk that you most likely will have to simplify. So that's why I'm just picking the smallest possible thing that I can multiply by to get those to match. And so here I'm multiplying by x squared, and so I would get 4x squared, and that's going to be divided by x cubed y squared minus, I'll have here, this is in parentheses, so you have to like distribute that y, and you're going to have xy plus 3y on the top, and then on the bottom it should be the same, x cubed y squared. And then to combine terms, like you can't combine any of these terms because they don't have like the same letters into the same exponent, so you just kind of mush it together. So you're left with 4x squared minus xy. And then the one thing I will say be careful of is you do have to think of it as in parentheses, so you have to distribute that subtraction sign. So just be careful of that. And so we should have a minus 3y at the end here, and then that's all over x cubed y squared. And our restrictions would just be x cannot equal 0, y cannot equal 0. And that is your final answer. I hope you found this video helpful, and have a great day.